Located in Hazelmere, there were two reasons why Andy bought this house.
The weaving bit was the initial draw to it, but now it's just the fact that it's a beautiful house.
It is pretty unusual when the name of a house attracts buyers to the auction. Dun roaming and The Retreat don't exactly pack them in. But the weaving house in Hazelmere appealed to Andy and his wife Sarah on two counts. First, because it was just round the corner from where they lived, and second, because they're both weavers. Ideal. They paid $280,000 for the unusual house that once did exactly what its name implies.
So, Andy, which part of the house was this photograph taken in?
This is more or less this room. It's the whole of the top floor was put out to weaving, so there are 10 looms that we can see here.
3 months later, we've threaded our way back to see if Andy and Sarah have moved in. Well, they certainly have. They've transformed the weaving house into a home. Their family's furnishings make it feel really cosy. They've changed the colour scheme in the kitchen. And up at the top of the house, the 3 bedrooms have been very tastefully decorated. Everywhere you look in the weaver's house, that laid-back lifestyle looms large.
It does feel like home for us. It felt like home on the first night. Straight away, it felt lived in, it felt very homely. We put the little lights on in the corners of the room, and it just felt like we'd lived here for a long, long time.
The house had been unoccupied, but had recently been decorated and was in fantastic condition, so very little needed to be done.
So in the lounge, the floorboards are all painted brown, so fairly nasty. We spent a couple of days sanding them down, and then we oiled them, so it's a lovely warm feel to them, and then really sort of put everything together in here.
As they're both weavers, the house makes a very appropriate home. They met when Andy ran a textile mill, and although he's now a website designer, Sarah continues to weave on a hand loom. She took a textile degree at art school and has roped in an old friend to help.
Stephanie's a very good friend of ours from a long time back, and she helped us to move in, she helped us to style the place.
I've literally just been an extra pair of hands, but I suppose because my background's in interior styling, I helped. One of the most important jobs, I think, was just to create a sort of cosy home feel, because they did come from quite a small house. Sometimes their furniture could look a little bit lost, so it was just carefully placing things in rooms to still give a cosy feel, really.
Stephanie's achieved a great look throughout. Even the kitchen's taken on a country cottage feel.
This is a great room. We've this unit here was coming out from the wall. We took it away to sand the floor and wax it and oil it, and then we just sort of put it back in the corner there to keep it out of the way. We just put this shelf up and this unit here, which sort of nicely separates the cooking area from the sort of the dining area. These cupboards were all fine, but the wrong colour. They were a horrible blue, so Sarah painted these this nice green and put some new handles on, so I think it's really brought it back to life.
For anyone moving house, it can be traumatic, but for Andy and Sarah's 2 boys, well, it was just another day.
We're in mine and Samuel's bedroom, and I like it because it's got bigger windows and it's got more space to keep all our toys in and everything.
The fun continues downstairs in the old garage. There's been very little work required on this house, so have Andy and Sarah had to spend much money?
In terms of cost, it hasn't really cost us anything, other than buying some other bits and pieces, other bits of furniture that would fit the house. I think costs going forwards are going to be on the garden. We're going to keep a fighting fund for the fact that it's a wooden building and you just need to be sensible about these things.
Now they've settled in, have they been disturbed by the car park at the back or by that busy railway line?
The car park hasn't been a problem in the slightest, and we quite like the trains. It's sort of a little bit of life going past, so we watch the people going by and wave at them.
The weaving house is probably a bit of a landmark. You don't see many like this on a train journey. Time to see if 2 local estate agents think that the property is on the right track following Andy's arrival.
I'm immensely impressed with the work that they've actually done to the property. It feels more spacious and lived in and loved.
It's an upside-down house. All the bedrooms have got ensuite accommodation, which is fantastic. Yes, it would be an advantage if it had a cloakroom on the ground floor. People don't like walking through bedroom accommodation to get to a cloakroom.
The kitchen, I think, is amazing. They've done a lovely job. It feels homely, and it's nice that they've got space for a table as well.
It is a small garden, but I think that can be overcome if they do some clever redesigning at the front.
Andy and Sarah paid $280,000 for the house at auction. What's it worth now? Will they see a rise?
I think if I was to market the property today, I would market it around the 350 level.
I would put this on the market at a guide of 400.
That's at least $70,000 more than Andy paid. Quite an increase.
It is a lot more, yes. We paid $280,000, I think, for it. But I think it's the value that it's added to our life that's the most important thing, really. We bought the house for the character of the house, for the history, for the soul of the house. We didn't buy it to make any profit on it or anything. We bought it to live in and to be a family home.
The weaving house has certainly been transformed. It looks like they've got the inside all sewn up, even if the garden's a bit hemmed in.
We're really happy that we found it. We didn't really want to move from where we were, but this place found us. It's so characterful, it's just right for us. It's the best move that we've made.